Everyone, we're having a number of clients getting their first leads or sales through ChatGPT or Perplexity. So I want to do a quick video showing how to find that traffic within GA4 and also a couple quick gotchas where if you're using some traditional reporting tools within GA4, you actually might be missing out on data that is from ChatGPT or Perplexity. So I'll start off here in Explore. A number of clients, a number of people we know like to use Explore. It's a relatively good tool. It's a bit more flexible than the standard reporter within GA4. With that said, one big catch with Explore is it does not provide fractional conversions. So it always rounds up or rounds down, and it gives attribution in this case entirely to one channel. So looking here for first user source medium, we see ChatGPT. Yay, we got a sale in there. One came in. Now, question is does that entire sale, did it happen from one user going to ChatGPT right to a website making a purchase? I can tell you in advance, spoiler alert, it did not happen like that. But if you look at this, you are not able to tell that there's multiple touch points that happened before that user made a purchase. One thing to note in this specific example I'm going to give, we're going to see that ChatGPT was the first touch point, and then there's a second touch point that happened afterwards. If ChatGPT was actually the second touch point after a first touch point, this would be blank. It would be 0, and that means you would have had somebody that came to your site through ChatGPT, but would not have known it because the first user source medium wasn't ChatGPT, it was something else. And that's one of the gotchas we've seen many times in client accounts where they don't think they've had any interaction or traffic from ChatGPT that's led to actual revenue, and there actually has been. So in this case, I'm going to swap out transactions and put in total revenue. And as I swap out transactions and put in total revenue, we now see what the revenue was for that one transaction with ChatGPT. But again, it's giving the full conversion value to that one source medium, which is not complete, which is quite frankly not accurate. So if you look over here as well, we can swap out first user medium and pop in source medium. And now as I do source medium, which means it's not just the first source medium, but it's actually splitting out the transaction across multiple sources and mediums now, we can see now that ChatGPT was a fraction of the overall customer journey. So to get a more granular look at where that user came from and what touch points they had before they made a purchase, we have to go to a different section. And the area I strongly recommend you take a look at if you want to see a more detailed look at where AI is playing in your customer journey is to come over to advertising. And in advertise, we're going to look at attribution models. And we want to look at the data-driven model. And we see down here that fractional conversion is now broken out here for ChatGPT. Now, the next stage and next area we want to take a look in, and the one I'd argue is the most interesting section, is up to attribution paths. Attribution paths, we're able to see the different customer journeys that are taken to actually that leads to revenue. So if you come down here, you can do a search for ChatGPT, Control F, or there it is, ChatGPT. So we can see that transaction that was just over $2,500, 14% of that attribution has been given to ChatGPT, and 86% has been given to a Google channel. Now we can swap this out at the top here to figure out what channel that is, whether that's paid or that's organic. But nonetheless, bigger point is we now know that ChatGPT was not 100% of that overall interaction as we saw on that first Explorer report. And you can argue if 14% is a fair distribution of what the split of this overall purchase should be. That's a separate conversation for a separate video. But the bigger picture here is you're learning what the customer journey looks like with some of these AI search tools, and you're figuring out exactly what paths are being taken by your users before they make purchases. Super valuable information to have, and something that most companies should be taking a look at now as the prevalence of AI search tools continues to grow.